When you've been hurt, whether it's through trauma, betrayal, or just years of disconnection, intimacy can start to feel impossible. You might crave closeness, but flinch when someone reaches out to touch you. You might long for touch, but your body tenses before it can soften. Hi there. I'm Raquel Perez, and I am a licensed therapist here in the state of Colorado. And I help individuals heal their relationships and reconnect to themselves. And today, we're talking about sex after hurt. What it really means to rebuild safety, trust, and connection when your body no longer feels safe enough to open. Our bodies can learn that closeness isn't safe at any point in our lives. It might have started in childhood, maybe through moments where love came with conditions, or where vulnerability was met with criticism or withdrawal, or it could have happened later in relationships where trust was broken or where you had to shut down parts of you to stay connected. When those experiences happen, the body does what it's designed to do, to protect you. It stores those memories not as words or stories, but as sensations. Your body learns, when I reach out, I get hurt. When I open up, I'm rejected. When I'm seen, it isn't safe. And so the body goes into protection mode. This is automatic. It's biological. It's not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's actually a sign that your body works. Because your nervous system has one priority over everything else: survival. Sometimes that protection looks like emotional distance. You might crave closeness, but feel numb or disconnected when it's offered. Other times it looks like avoidance, pulling away before someone can get too close, or freezing when affection comes your way. These are all ways your body says, I remember what it felt like to get hurt. I'm not going there again. But here's the thing. Desire doesn't live in protection. It lives in safety. When the body is bracing for danger, it can't also soften to connection. Desire is vulnerable. It asks us to be seen, to be open, to trust that we can let someone in. And our nervous system will only allow that when it feels safe enough to do so. So before we can even think about passion or intimacy, we have to help the body feel secure again. Because a body that doesn't feel safe will always protect. Not because it's broken, but because it loves you enough to keep you alive. Safety doesn't only mean the absence of danger. It also means the presence of trust, attunement, and gentleness. So often we think, well, nothing bad is happening right now, so why can't I just relax? But our bodies don't just need the danger to stop. They need to feel that we are cared for, that we are seen, that we can finally exhale. Safety is built through the small, consistent moments where your nervous system learns, I can soften here. I can let go a little. Trust, it doesn't rebuild all at once. It starts quietly in how someone looks at you with patience instead of frustration, in how they notice your hesitation and slow down instead of pushing you harder, in how your shoulders drop just a little bit further down when your body realizes, I'm not being hurt right now. That's attunement. And that helps us lay down our protection. Our nervous systems, they don't respond to pressure. They respond to gentleness and consistency. When we try to rush healing or force ourselves to just get over it, The body reads that as more danger. It tightens, it retreats, it pulls the walls right back up again. So we have to move slowly because pressure, it always backfires. But gentleness, repeated, reliable gentleness, that starts to rewire the body's memory. Your body remembers how to protect you. That memory, it runs deep. But our work, especially when healing intimacy after being hurt, is helping your body remember something else too. How to trust again. And think about how much compassion that takes to show your body that after betrayal, rejection, or neglect, it can begin to trust again, to hold those parts of you that have been on high alert and say, you don't have to protect me from everything anymore. That's where healing begins. Not in perfection or performance, but in these tiny, trustworthy moments that tell your nervous system it's safe to rest here. The first person you rebuild trust with is yourself. Before intimacy can feel safe with someone else, your body needs to know that you are listening. That when pain shows up, when fear tightens your chest, or anxiety floods your stomach, you'll pause. You'll stay. You'll listen. Your body needs to know that it can move through pain and not just shut down from it. That it can experience discomfort without building walls that are so thick that nothing can get through, not even love. This process begins with deep attunement, learning to understand what your body is trying to say, to notice the tension in your jaw when something feels off, the warmth in your chest when something feels right, the quiet not yet that arises when your system isn't ready. Those are all forms of communication, and rebuilding trusts means learning to honor them. When you say yes to what your body says yes to, and no to what your body says no to, you start to establish a relationship with safety inside yourself. Your body begins to learn, I can speak and she listens. That's the foundation of self-trust. Gentle self-touch, like resting your hand over your heart, tracing your arms, or holding your own hand, can help your system recalibrate. Mindful breathing invites softness where tension once lived. Compassionate check-ins remind you that even when fear arises, you are still here, still safe, still capable of care. This isn't about forcing your body to be open. It's about inviting it back into connection, showing it through tenderness that it can trust you again. Because self-trust is the doorway to all other forms of intimacy. It's you feeling the self-love in every part of your body, not just as an idea, but as a lived experience. It's you allowing those fragmented pieces, the parts that froze, the parts that hid, to reconnect and remember what wholeness feels like. That's when the body starts to soften again. That's when openness stops feeling dangerous and begins to feel sacred. When you're learning to feel safe in intimacy again, it's important to start with emotional safety before sexual safety. Before the body can open physically, it needs to feel held emotionally. It needs to feel seen, respected, and understood, because sex is one of the most vulnerable things that we do. Your body needs to know that its vulnerability will be honored, not taken for granted or pushed past. So begin with emotional intimacy. Let your body feel what it's like to be emotionally safe with your partner, to share openly, to be met with gentleness instead of defensiveness, to be heard instead of fixed. Emotional intimacy is built in the quiet spaces, in honest conversations, in slowing down to really feel each other, in practicing attunement. It's two nervous systems learning to speak the same language. Language that says, I see you, I feel you, and I'm not going anywhere. In that space, you can begin to explore your yes, your no, and your not yet. And it's just as important that both of you honor those boundaries with tenderness, not tension. Because every time your boundaries are respected, your nervous system gets a new message. It's safe to be here. Try replacing the old, how do we fix our sex lives conversations with something more curious, like answering the questions, what helps you feel safe? What makes you feel connected to me? What does your body need right now? These are healing questions. They shift the focus from performance to presence. And remember, connection starts in the small, safe moments that retrain your body toward closeness. Holding hands, hugging, resting your head on your partner's chest, sitting quietly together without needing to do anything. Those tiny moments tell your body you can trust this touch. They help rewire your system toward connection. Slowly, softly, and at the pace that your body chooses. Because when safety and trust return, desire, it follows it naturally. Not as something you force, but as something that gently awakens. A reflection of your body remembering what it feels like to be home in connection. Healing intimacy after hurt is not about rushing back into closeness. It's about allowing your body to reopen in its own time. One breath, one moment, one heartbeat at a time. There's no timeline for when trust returns. No checklist for when your body will finally say, I'm ready. Because safety and desire are not goals to achieve. They're states that emerge as your nervous system begins to feel secure again. Sometimes you'll feel open and connected. Other times you might feel yourself close right back up again. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you're going backward. It means your body is still protecting what is sacred. Healing, it happens in waves. It's the soft return after the retreat. It's learning that you can hold both. The fear and the longing, the protection and the hope. When you move slowly with compassion, your body starts to believe you. It learns that gentleness is safe, that it can feel and still be okay, that closeness can exist without danger. And maybe that's what healing really is. Not erasing the hurt, but learning to meet it with so much care that it no longer has to run the show. So if you find yourself struggling to trust again, remember this. Your body isn't behind. It's wise. It's moving at the pace that keeps you safe. And with time, softness, and love, protection can slowly become presence. Intimacy after hurt isn't about getting back to who you were. It's about becoming who you are now. Someone who has known pain and still chooses to be open. Someone who has seen the walls and learned to build doorways through them. If you're struggling with intimacy after hurt, please know your body isn't failing you. It's protecting you. And with gentleness, compassion, and time, protection can slowly become trust again. That's what healing really looks like. If this conversation resonated with you, if you're in the process of learning to trust intimacy again, I hope you know that healing doesn't have to feel rushed or lonely. I've created a free booklet called Sacred Spaces, filled with reflections, grounding practices, and gentle rituals to help you create safety for insight, both in your body and in your relationships. You can download it today for free in the description down below. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper into this work, I've also recorded a guided meditation that pairs with this video, a meditation for rebuilding safety in intimacy. It's a self-practice designed to help your body remember what trust feels like again. You can listen to it right after this video or save it for when you need a moment to come back home to yourself. If you'd like more therapy-informed reflections and meditations like this, I'd love for you to subscribe. Each week I share new videos on emotional healing, sexuality, and creating safety for insight, so you can keep growing in connection with yourself and those you love. Well, my friend, that's all for this video. Until next time, bye for now.